Hello, I'm Melissa Battinzi. Welcome to the Pembroke School Committee candidate interview. I want to take a moment to thank our candidate for participating in this interview and collaborating with PAC TV to bring this informational programming to residents and voters this election season. Let me explain the format. Today, Susan Bollinger will be interviewed. Susan will have 2 minutes to introduce herself, speak about her background, qualifications, and why she's running for office. I'll then ask a series of questions related to school issues. Susan will be hearing them for the first time during this forum. She'll have 2 minutes to answer the questions. After the questions, she'll have 2 minutes for a closing remark. The 2-minute time frame will be shown on the screen for her to see. Let's get started with the opening statement. Susan, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Susan Bollinger, and I'm a candidate for the Pembroke School Committee. I was born and raised in the town of Pembroke, and I graduated from the Silver Lake School District. My husband Paris and I decided to move back here with our family in 2009. It was the best decision we ever made. I love this town. Paris and I are a blended family of 7 children. I have 3 grown stepdaughters, and I have 4 children of my own, 3 of whom have already graduated from Pembroke Public Schools. My older son, Ben, is a graduate student at the University of Illinois studying physics. My son, Zach, is a vocal performance major at the University of Hartford. And my son, Will, attends UMass Lowell and is studying physics. My youngest daughter, Taya, is a 7th grader at the Pembroke Community Middle School. My 3 oldest children had a great experience at Pembroke Public Schools. When my boys attended, there were many well-thought-out programs in place for all of their needs. My oldest really thrived taking the wide selection of AP courses that Pembroke offers. It earned him a full year of college credits. My middle son absolutely loved the performing arts program at Pembroke Public Schools. He participated in band, chorus, and every play offered for all 4 years of high school. And my youngest son, Will, enjoyed cross country and track and participated in many Patriot League events. Well, it sounds as though I'm bragging about the successes of my kids, but in all reality, we had a rocky beginning. We had a lot of issues and needed to lean on school support for many of them in order to overcome these obstacles. Early on, my kids needed 504 plans for chronic illnesses, IEPs for ADHD, and other issues. It's because of the support of the school system that my kids are where they are today. The previous school committee members and the administration worked so well together that they were able to create a collaborative atmosphere that allowed my kids to thrive in this community. I'd like to continue this tradition for the future of Pembroke, knowing how much it meant to my family as my oldest kids were growing. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we're going to reset the clock and we're going to go to question 1. As you know, over the past year, the school districts have had to drastically change course and adapt due to the effects of COVID-19 on our communities. Is there anything you would have done differently in response? You have 2 minutes.
Well, that's a great question. I'm not sure that I would have done differently. I mean, I feel like everybody's sort of done the best they can. And, I just feel like, so many families have been struggling throughout this pandemic, job loss, family and friends who've been ill, who have died, and families have had to figure out how to juggle child care and still be able to work. For me, I think the most important thing is how we're going to move forward. The social emotional piece is going to be very important moving forward. As a district, I believe we need to, be sure to have systems in place to help these kids who will be struggling over the next year or 2. Not only are we going to have to deal with a lot of catching up for students who didn't have a lot of resources, but the social issues are pretty big for all of these kids as well. These kids have been cooped up in their home for a year, learning how to use Zoom, FaceTime, and let's face it, house party and social media apps to connect with their peers. In many cases, parents haven't been able to supervise their kids. And so I think what we're going to have to do is come up with a way to supervise their kids in their education process because they're working themselves. So we're going to have to find a way to catch these kids up and get them back on track. I just feel like this is more important than ever.
Thank you. We're going to move on to question 2. What is the one thing you think that residents should understand about managing the school budget? You have 2 minutes.
Okay, great. So about managing the school budget, I think that, it's really important that when the town is trying to figure out, every year it seems like we're coming up with trying to solve for the budget. And it's very important for them to come up with, the administration to come up with alternate solutions to fix these difficult problems of budget areas so that we don't have to, cut teachers' jobs. And so, moving forward, I feel like we need to come together as a town to figure out how we can overcome the budget deficits in the future. We need a long-term plan. Our schools are the most important asset of our town, in my opinion. And I feel that people move to Pembroke because they love the schools and what they have to offer. And so, it's really what keeps our town strong. And it's an investment in our community. So we need to find a way to make the budget work. And, we need to, continue the tradition of strong programming for our children. My goal as a school committee member is to ensure that children are put first in this community. My hope is that we never have to say no to something that the kids need due to budgets.
Thank you. And we're going to move on to question 3. What is your vision for a student of the Pembroke Public Schools, and what skills should their education provide them for the future? You have 2 minutes.
Well, my vision is a well-rounded student. I really sincerely feel that all areas of education are important. Just because one student is really good at, maybe they excel in academics and they take all the AP classes. AP classes are important, but I also feel that we need to find alternate means to teach our kids. Some kids aren't going to go to college, so maybe we need to sort of pivot and find, other areas to teach the kids, other areas of programming, so that we have a well-rounded student and we have a well-rounded option for every student in the district. So.
Excellent. Thank you. And we're going to move to closing remarks, and you will have 2 minutes for your closing remarks.
Okay, great. So over the last year, I've spent many hours researching what it means to be a school committee member. I've known for a long time that I wanted to serve our town at some point. In the last year alone, I've attended approximately 99% of the school committee meetings so that I would have a better understanding of the problems Pembroke faces. I take this job very seriously. I want to represent the kids to create a collaborative atmosphere for teachers, administration, parents, and other town boards. I believe in a well-rounded education for all students. I believe we shouldn't be centrally focused on any one department. All departments and areas of education have value in my eyes, and I believe all of our current offerings at our school help make a well-rounded student. Over the next year, we're going to need to come together as a community and be laser focused on helping our students recover from the losses in both academics and social opportunities. These kids have missed out on so many things, including proms, sports, plays, musical opportunities, and after-school clubs, and more. And that's just the social piece. Our incredible teachers have obviously done the best they could with the situation, but there's no way around the fact that many of these kids are going to need to play catch-up academically. My hope is that we can come together and work collaboratively with administration and teachers to come up with a plan to get back on track. I would be honored to be part of the solution, to work as a representative for families in the town of Pembroke. My goal is to see a strong school that takes into account all of the social and emotional needs of our students and create a well-rounded education moving forward. May 15th is just around the corner, and I would really appreciate your vote. I'm looking forward to working for our kids, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan, for participating in the interview. We wish you the best of luck throughout your campaign and in the election. And for our viewers, thank you for joining us. If you're interested in watching replays of this interview, please visit our website, pactv.org/elections, for replay times and online viewing options, including PacTV's on-demand and streaming service, PacTV Prime. And please make your choices heard by voting in the election on Saturday, June 26th. Thank you and good day.